Welcome to Sociology Vibes, where we simplify challenging ideas into easy to understand insights. Today, our focus is on the sociological explanation of French sociologist Émile Durkheim's views about deviance. Émile Durkheim is considered one of the original early sociologists and the father of the functionalism theory. Functionalist sociologists analyze society in terms of functions and dysfunctions. Functions help maintain society's social order, while dysfunctions disrupt it. Sociologists define deviance as behaviors that go against cultural values and norms, both formal and informal. These behaviors can also be criminal or non-criminal. For example, spitting inside a building is not a crime, but it is condoned and therefore considered deviant behavior. We would expect that deviant behaviors would be considered dysfunctional for society. Yet Durkheim took a different approach and cited three main functions of deviance. First, Durkheim believed that deviance communicates a society's norms and moral limits. When a person engages in deviance, people have a negative reaction. And when they're punished, others see the consequences, which deters widespread deviance and crime in society. When a student arrives to class late, the professor might excuse this behavior at first, and that can lead to more students arriving late. The professor is lenient about coming to class late. The professor can start calling out the behavior by deducting participation points, signaling to the class that continued tardiness is where they draw the line. Soon, most of the students get the message, and order in the classroom is restored. On a societal or macro level, when we see stories in the media about people getting arrested or publicly shamed, we think to ourselves, I better not do this. This contributes to society maintaining social order through shared cultural values and norms. Second, Durkheim also said that deviance upholds social unity in society. This occurs when people rally or unite behind a common way of thinking about right or wrong, strengthening social bonds and social cohesion. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people united around the belief that masks deterred the spread of the virus, and people not wearing masks were viewed as deviant. The outrage people feel about the injustice of violent acts or terror unite them around a need to propose changes in laws, funding of new security measures, and even military action. Finally, Durkheim believed that certain deviant behaviors and even thinking, pushing the boundaries of what is commonly viewed as acceptable. Some deviant behaviors challenge the status quo and eventually lead to a change in cultural values and norms, social progress, and equality. Historically, civil rights, women's rights, LGBTQ rights movements challenged existing norms, policies, and laws that were eventually overturned. Today, for example, some climate change activists engage in both deviant and criminal behaviors to bring attention to the destruction of ecosystems around the globe, and some of these groups have been labeled as eco-terrorists. Throughout Europe, one such behavior involves the slashing of tires on gas-guzzling personal cars such as SUVs. People for the ethical treatment of animals, also known as PETA, were also known for throwing paint on the fur coats worn by wealthy people. In everyday life, art and fashion trends often also push the norms of acceptable boundaries. Historically, women were not allowed to wear pants, and bathing suits had to be of a specific style and length, as allowed by law. Contemporary trends challenge office business attire, as more people forgo formal suits and ties for men, pantyhose for women, and high-heeled shoes for women. As you observe popular cultural trends, pay attention to the subtle messages in which they reinforce status quo values and norms, or even resist them. As we contemplate Durkheim's ideas about deviance, including its role in maintaining social order, social cohesion, social change, we gain a deeper understanding of how our ways of thinking and behaving are part of this balancing act. And this makes sociology worth exploring further, don't you think? Thank you for watching. Be sure to comment below with your thoughts, questions, or any topics you'd like us to explore next. Let's keep the conversation going and our community growing. See you in the next Sociology Vibes video.